be honest, I think the most important thing is not to just look at F1. And I think a lot of kids these days are just focusing on F1. There's a lot of other paths besides F1 which you can make a career in, and obviously the USA is one of them for sure.
Almost everyone's goal is Formula One, but it's almost not obtainable anymore. So to me, my biggest goal is probably IndyCar now, just because it's a little bit cheaper and it's easier. The Mazda Road in Indy, it's proven to be a good ladder system.
No, it's hard. I mean, that whole process of moving up through the ranks from go-karting to wherever your dream sort of is a challenge.
I would think the best is not to constantly moan about it. Because everyone knows we are in a very challenging economical situation around the world. But still people find money, still people find their way through. Nothing beats talent and determination. So instead of moaning, use the time and think of what you could make different to attract a sponsor, to attract a team giving you a better deal or even drive for free.
You know, for me, I was in a position when I was growing up as a kid where I didn't really have options to choose. I kind of got an opportunity to go go-karting, then I got an opportunity to do some open wheel formula cars and just kind of work through it. And you know, the challenging part is trying to be able to be ready for that next step.
You know what, I'm not really sure I support the idea of moving up too soon. I mean, there are rare exceptions, you know, like Max Verstappen, who's, you know, is a very special talent.
Max is an amazing example of how quickly he runs through things and how fast he adopts and learns. Very inspiring for young talents, for everyone in motorsport. Can this model work for everyone? No, definitely not.
There is way too many kids and way too many parents trying to fast track their kids like they've seen one or two F1 guys do. For me, it's about winning.
When you go into single-seater racing, it starts from zero. I mean, whatever you learn from go-karts, driving techniques, it's important. You have to be a good driver, but you have to really sit down and, you know, restart from scratch.
You know, I believe that any young kid from karting who goes into F2000, if he's ballistically quick in an F2000 car, if you give him enough time at that age, he'd be fast in any car, whether it's IndyCar, F3 or GP2. I mean, if you've got talent and you've got speed, you don't learn to be quick, you are quick.
You know, I think moving up through the ranks, I mean, you certainly have to have the fundamentals down before you're ready to make that next step, and then have good goals whenever you make that jump. You know, I think far too often people may be ready for that next step, but their goal is too high, and they go in there with a lot of expectation, a lot of pressure on themselves to make something happen, and they're not able to do it, and they end up, you know, having a lot of accidents.
You know, guys that just kind of jump forward and skip steps, or maybe just do 1 year in a series and then right away move up. You know, I'm not sure they're really learning everything there is to learn in the junior formula cars.
Do your homework in lower categories, it's cheaper, it's way better to learn, because when you're on the spot in the top end and you screw up, maybe that's your last race, so better take your time.
Age in racing drivers is a hot topic, I think, at the moment. And I think you will see a lot of crashes, and I think you will see a lot of mistakes made by not having the experience, not because they're not talented enough, just because they haven't got the experience.
When it's all said and done, especially at the lowest levels of motorsport, karting to early formula cars, it's got to be done with your butt.
Best to experiment with yourself, with the car, with setup, with driving in the lower categories. And then move up when your brain is 100% comfortable with your car, with the setup, with the way you deal with pressure.
There are too many guys, you know, young kids, who are obviously very well funded, whether it's family money or sponsorship from the government, and they're just being hoisted up the ranks, whether they're ready or not.
You know, sometimes they make passes that, you know, if you had to get out of the race car and fix the whole left side of the car yourself, or you had to, or your family had to pay for it, and you didn't have just a ridiculous amount of money to be able to pay for it, you might think twice about some of the moves you make.
You will not get a trophy for coming too early, and I can tell you many more drivers who are burned with the early arrival in the top categories, Formula One, IndyCar, or whatever it will be, who succeeded. So just take your time and only step up when you are 100% comfortable in the category you're racing in, for the safety, but mainly for your career.
Being a winner isn't really about just running fast laps and actually winning a race here and there. Winning is when the chips are down and you might not have the fastest race car, and being able to pull it out some other way, whether it be driving around the push, the loose, whatever, and making things happen. That's what winners are. And I think more parents, more kids, more of everybody need to drive more, win more before they move on.
And that's what it's about, you know, just be racing, and if you can get paid to do it, that's the pinnacle. That is the pinnacle. And as long as they understand that, I think they'll be okay.